Okay, so let's get started with the face. So in the face section, the first thing we're going to do is the preparation work. It's like a prepping phase before you actually start the fitting. And the first thing it's demanding of us is a mask. And it's a mask of everything that is going to be deformed by the face. So to get that, I'm going to select the geometry, isolate it, and go into the side view. Now, if you click these helper icons here, it'll tell you exactly what you're supposed to be selecting. And I'm going to try to do exactly what it's done and get some of the bottom side of this neck in there. So I'm going to go face, and my edge loops aren't perfect. As far as there's not a particular perfect edge loop wrapping around the face, so my selection won't be as clean as what we saw in this image, right? Like I wouldn't have all this perfect stuff, but I do have good edge loops around the eyes and the mouth and stuff. So let me start by grabbing, I'm going to grab as much of it as possible. Okay, I'm prepared for a great deal of issues because of how dense this mesh is. I'm going to refine this selection. Make sure I turn on symmetry so that it selects both sides. Let me make sure it's in fact doing the correct thing. Yes, it is. Okay. And I cannot forget my mouth bag. I do have a mouth bag here. I'm going to include all of that in there. So I'm going to select my faces. Make sure I don't leave anything out. This body part called the uvula, I probably should have given it a joint, but maybe it was a good idea not to, because we know how these extra joints make the skeleton misbehave. So I will rig this with a custom skin control. Like some of the other things that are going to require a custom skin control, like the nails, the fangs, I'm just going to add the uvula to them. All right, okay, so this is our face mask selection. Got everything in there. Let me hit the 4 key and make sure I don't see any blue gaps. Like that's a blue gap that would mean I have missed something. This is only so much more difficult because of how dense the mesh is. All right, so I'm going to hit the mask to define those faces. And for the next thing in the list, it's the face, but really I want everything connected to the face. So this whole geometry goes here. So with the geometry selected, I click face to get those points in there. Then for the next thing, I need pretty much all the items for the head. So to be on the safe side, I'm going to drill down to my geometry and make sure I get everything. I'd probably be better off selecting, let me disable NURBS curves and joints. And to be on the safe side, I will just select like this with my rectangle selection, just so I get everything related to the head. There's a lot of pieces here. There's eyelashes. The eye has several different pieces of geometry. We have eyebrows. We have the tongue, teeth, gums, and we've gotten all of that. I am going to leave these alone. These earrings, they were never really part of the main rig. If I add them, I'll add them myself at the end. I might even transfer them to the skin wrap file. But if I do skin them to this main rig, I'd do the weight painting myself. So I'm going to leave that out. So I'm going to define all head. And now it's time to get the eyes. Now with the eyes, there's several pieces of geometry. So I want to make sure I get all of them. I'm going to start with the right eye. Try to isolate its pieces. I don't need the eyelashes. I just need the eye. So that's everything. It has a additional mesh in here that represents the pupil, and I want to make sure I get. And then it has the outer transparent layer that represents the bulge of the cornea. All right, so I'm going to put that in right eye. Do the same the other way around. Deselect these. Left eye. Upper teeth. This time I want to make sure I don't forget the gums. Let me select like this first. Isolate. So I can get the gums and the teeth. That goes in upper teeth. Get the lower half. Lower teeth and gums. And I get the tongue. Bring everything back. Get the eyebrows. And get the eyelashes. So that's the preparation work to get started with the fitting of the face. All right, so now before we move on to the fitting, we have to go through this phase, this set of settings or properties to determine what we want to go with. The rig type, I'm definitely going to go with joints. I was contemplating mixed, but I'm going to go with joints. With how dense our mesh is, I want the most optimal option, and it's definitely going to be joints over blend shapes. This I'm going to leave at complete, and I definitely want the 12 lip controls. Now when it comes over here, I definitely want emotions and phonemes checked. I know for all the advanced skeleton videos I've watched that's doing this, we definitely need these. But one additional thing which I'm 100% going to check, because I was very excited about this feature, is the multi-skin cluster, because I wanted to put all this weighting for the individual parts or the individual face controls on their own deformation layer, which means they're going to have their own skin cluster. It has a very weird way it does that, where it creates like a master, I don't know if it's like a dynamic controller, a master control that takes charge of everything, and then the main skin cluster is designated to the body part that is now on a new layer. But we'll take a look at it when it happens, and I'll show you what it looks like. We can read in here and you see what it's going to do. It's just going to, you're going to have right on top of your joints in the weight painting tool, you're going to have all these skin clusters named correctly to tell you what they represent. And this will make it so much easier to fix, troubleshoot whatever issues are going to arise with the face. Now, I'm also going to check this because I think it's interesting. Eye socket. It says adds a control for the skin area inside the eye, useful in special cases for extreme cartoon style face animation. I just want to see what it looks like. I hope that it's not one of those things that breaks during build, but I'm going to trust that it's fine. So these are the 4 things that I'm going to have checked here. You can take a look at this other stuff to see if you're interested. I'm not particularly interested in any of this stuff for this character, but do keep in mind that I think that, well, that might not be the case anymore, but multi-skin clusters was originally not supported by game engine characters. So if you were making a game engine character, I don't think it would allow you to check multi-skin cluster, or it will allow you to check it, but it will uncheck game engine. So the fact that it's unchecked lets me know that it now supports characters that are going to game engine. So you could check this on if you want. You're using the game engine approach and you need a game engine rig. So these are my options, and let's continue.